Namaskar, welcome to this module of National Building Code, Part 12, Asset and Facility Management, Part 2 of this module. I am Shruti Nagdeve, a PhD research scholar at School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi. As we have seen over the past decade, a lot of construction has already happened in India and it's booming further. We'll see that the growth of construction is going on. Since there is a lot of growth in construction, as a nation we need to have a building stock moving more efficiently. So the asset and facility management will ensure it. To realize full potential of asset and facilities, a well-planned maintenance strategy can make a positive impact on safety and business development. So what is the scope of this part? It is relating to management of building assets and the associate facilities. It will include maintenance of types of facilities, fixed assets such as building and the services along it. So asset, let's define what is asset. For an individual, it is something that has a value, a life, and which is available to meet debts, commitments or legacies and performing functions to facilitate the user. So there are various types of assets we can have: physical asset, human asset, information asset, financial asset and intangible assets. But here for this course we are only focusing on physical assets. So we discussed that what is an asset. Asset management is a different entity in itself. It's a process for enabling the owner to maximize the value of any property or portfolio of properties by the means of acquisition to disposition within the objectives that a owner defines for his property. Tools such as strategic planning, investment analysis, operation analysis and how the positioning of the property in marketplace is according to the market. It is a simple real estate analysis. If your property is within a commercial area, definitely its rates will be higher, and as you plan the asset, it will be beneficial to your own property. Facility on the other hand is a different issue. Asset is your property, facility is a tool that will help your asset to go further. So here facility is a thing that is built for a specific purpose that enables the asset of asset. Facility management, it is the integration of process within an organization to maintain and develop the agreed services which support and improve the effectiveness of its primary activities, as well as it enhances its abilities to successfully control the building environment. Now, a facility cannot be run, for an instance of hospital. A doctor or a nurse cannot run facility. You need a specialist person who will take care of this. So a facility manager is a person who is assigned and who is skillful enough to take the responsibilities for operational planning, resource management, control activities of asset management as well as facility management. He foresees changes and takes timely action, and his task is also to document and verify what has been happening in the facility process. So far we discussed what is asset management, what is facility management. These are actually an overlapping aspect. They both perform corresponding management functions such as strategic planning, risk management, financial planning and control, quality management and project management. So there are certain identified core competencies within the area of asset and facility management, which is communication, emergency preparedness and business continuity, environmental stewardship and sustainability, finances and business, health and safety environment, leadership and strategy, operations and maintenance, project management and quality. So why do we require a facility management in an organization? It has various importance such as reduction of capital and operating costs, improvement of operation, reduction in health impacts and safety risks of operating assets, minimize adverse environmental impact, maintain and improve the reputation, regulatory performance of any organization, reduce legal risks, enhance life of any asset, and it also ensures that asset continues to meet a standard. So, here we see asset facility management has stakeholders engagement, effective communication, performance evaluation, statement of needs, and a strategy that is helpful for facilities. We come to the organizational structure of any asset and facility management. Who are the people who guide any organizational structure of a facility management? It is the competence of any staff, organizational roles at various levels, facility manager, outsourcing of certain items that will help facilities, and what is the scope of work. Now, the methodology, it is divided into 3 parts, that is in-house, outsourced, and what process has to be adopted. So, for in-house facility management, it will depend on what cost will be incurred for salary, establishment, and expenses for the staff, and it will also depend on the requirement, the availability of funds. Cost incurred on work again will be dependent on what is the actual quantum of work that has been happened. According to that, in-house facility will be categorized. Now, there are certain things such as an internet facility, for instance, which can be outsourced. That is a facility that is outsourced, it is not in-house. So, the organization in that case will take account that what facility needs to be outsourced, what will be the risk behind it, and what are the activities that can be controlled. It has to have a clear demarcation that okay, this facility needs outsourcing, and they will then again the organization will lay down responsibilities and authorities within this. So, there will be a assigned person who will take care of this outsourcing, and arrangement have to be made for sharing the knowledge. So, it's like you are giving outsourcing to a person, you have to share the information within your buildings organization that okay, we need this thing, so we need your support to facilitate this facility. Now, the third is what processes have to be adopted within your organization. You need to follow, so there will be necessary trainings that are required. We usually when we go to malls, in the toilets we will see there is a chart kind of a thing and tick marked and signed. That is a facility management team's method of checking what is, if the facility around that area is happening properly or not. So, that has to be trained, you have to train that person. The facility management will again, as I told, they will drop plans and tables to check that. Now, coming to resources requirement for asset or facility management. So, the first thing is resource assessment, resource plan, adequacy of resources, and need assessment. So, resource assessment, it comprises an individual asset that maintains to deliver the most effective outcomes in terms of minimal cost and risk. Resource plan is again prepared for assets operating under normal conditions. Need assessment should align its services needs, including services, dependency, utilization, location capacity, and functionality. Adequacy of resources, the resources available may be compared with resources required. The shortfall may be met by one or more of the options here: augmenting in-house resources, augmenting outsourced resources, or when resources cannot be augmented, postponing the requirements which are not so urgent. Procurement of services. One of the options in which you will assess that what procurement method is required for a delivery of maintenance related services which fits the best for the business. So, planning for procurement. It will take a form in which you want the activities to be performed, and then the resources according to it. It will have decision points, milestones, and that will be shown against a time scale. So, what does the procurement plan do? It identifies stages and decision points in procurement process, criteria for decision making, activities within stages and their sequences, sources of information and data to be used in activities, individuals and external organizations to be involved in activities and what are their roles, other stakeholders who may be involved in this, resources needed to support the activities and deliverables at each stage and form they should take. So, it has two kind of processes. It is like pre-qualification, you give a request for proposal and then accordingly the various procurement companies will bid for it. So, it will have legal form and ownership of the service provider, what is the area of specialization, proposed approach to service delivery, extent of subcontracting, relevant track record and financial capacities. So, now as already said before, there are two types of asset facility management, hard services, soft services. Now, hard services will take care of your building fabric like your building envelope, roof, everything. Building services maintenance wherein you will have such as HVAC system, plumbing and drainage is again another category within it, air conditioning, heating and mechanical, electrical as I already told you, lifts and escalators, firefighting detection and suppression, roads and pathways. We will discuss this in detail in the further slides. Soft services are like environment, health and safety, landscaping and horticulture, waste management, housekeeping, pest control, security management, solid waste management, which is an important issue in hospital management, common areas in building and built environment. It is natural that if we are constructing a building, it also requires maintenance. So, the prime objectives of maintenance are to preserve any building services, machinery in good operating condition, to restore it back to its original standards and to improve facilities depending on the development of building. So, the building maintenance can be categorized into two, that is planned maintenance and unplanned maintenance. So, planned maintenance, as the word itself describes, it is like you already know that maybe this kind of maintenance is required in the course of action. And unplanned maintenance, it can happen, suppose a duct is not working. So, you need, that is an emergency case scenario. So, you go and maintain that. So, that comes under emergency maintenance. So, I will list out like planned maintenance are preventive maintenance, shutdown maintenance. Shutdown maintenance may you can, the occupants of the building beforehand that we are going to plan a shutdown for the building's maintenance. Maybe you can plan your activities according to it. Preventive maintenance again has three types into it, condition based maintenance, reliability centered maintenance and total productive maintenance. Unplanned maintenance, as I said, it can be a corrective maintenance, breakdown maintenance, suppose there is a breakdown of your electric transformer or something, that is a unplanned maintenance, that is an example, and then emergency maintenance. So, aspects influencing building maintenance, it can be technical factors like age of building, how it was designed and what materials has been specified for its construction. Then there are certain maintenance policies that a building goes through, then financial and economic factors, type and intensity of use, what like if they have been used regularly or there has been a less of use, health and safety, environmental factors. It also depends on how the design is influencing your building. It may be due to attention of maintenance requirement from the planning stage, attention to services and testing of lines, life cycle cost, types of finishes, fire and life safety requirements, detailing of each and every component, accessibility for maintenance purpose, environmental factors such as external and internal, and any future requirements by the owner. Maintenance planning, it can be again divided into four here: assessment, financial management, planning process and general planning. In assessment, an organization will assess the benefits and maintenance planning basing on the assessment that it has done. Financial management, it will happen according to the budget that an organization has decided for the building's maintenance. Planning process, it will be information and data gathered from the process that will be used to reinform the organization need for and use of facility assets during this and future iterations of this process. General planning, maintenance plan should be prepared in consultation with stakeholders. Now maintenance planning, it is again performance management, it can be then divided into quality control and inspections. Performance management, it is basically for improving the efficiency and effectiveness of maintenance management. It involves monitoring and controlling, and it can happen to both your internal arrangements or outsourced arrangement. It happens in two ways, quality control and inspection. So inspections here we mean that every point of time you go and check that if that facility is working properly or not. So there are standard norms for maintenance management, which is again discussed in the Annex C of the code. Then responsibility of owner occupants for maintenance of facility, it is again given in the 9.12.2 to 9.12.2 of the code. Common area maintenance, maintenance of common areas in the building group should be responsibility of all those who share the common areas. So now we come to the details of hardcore services that I told you earlier. The first one is building fabric, which is your building envelope and other components other than furniture and services installations. It's like it covers your prevention of cracks, repair works, seismic strengthening, retrofitting of any existing building, and that will be done according to the construction management practice and safety given within the National Building Code. While demolishing a damaged building or existing unsafe building, safety precautions will be given again as per part 7 of construction management in the code. Maintenance of plumbing and drainage system. The fixtures that are installed in plumbing shall be installed and maintained in working order. If at all there is certain place where there is an immediate need attended, such as inadequate venting, cross connection, back siphonage action, that will also come under maintenance of plumbing. And then all wastewater can or should be recycled within a building system, and it will be done only by licensed registered plumbers with specified qualifications. It is also important to provide rainwater harvesting and storage system to capture the runoff from the surfaces. So what are the precautionary measures that are needed to provide it? It will be avoid chemical drain cleaning products, prevent future logging, install screens over the drains in showers and tube, reduce the pressure, soften the water, and keep sewer lines or septic tanks clear. Again, the details are given in section 11.10 part 12 of NBC 2016. Now coming to HVAC system. So the aspects of operation and maintenance of HVAC services, so that it is in order to improve the performance of equipment, reduces the risk of failures, and increases the life and effective use of equipment, is covered under HVAC services. It will include individual units, plants and pumps, ducts, grills and other air conveyance system, smoke extraction system, fire dampers. And for any effective management of this asset, component wise operation and maintenance protocol has to be observed. So to perform this, you need to understand the basic operation system also. So a facility manager will also go behind and understand and go through the operation manual of any system. Again, the selection of system has to be taken accordingly, keeping in mind that a specific requirement for the facility is happening and is duly computing the heat loads and other relevant factors within a HVAC system. So the most important maintenance within an HVAC system is regular cleaning of filters. Now operational of a central AC plant, it will be in a sequential manner and beneficial to be done with building maintenance system. And depending upon the type of facility, type and specification of equipment installed, usage and other operational financial constraint, the optimum frequency of carrying out the services should be determined. In addition to above, the requirement of operation and maintenance again is given in building services part 8 section 3 air conditioning, heating and mechanical ventilation. We come to the next section, that is maintenance of electrical installations. Electrical installations in a building, they have to be installed and constantly maintained for uninterrupted use, and it has to be efficient use of electricity including safety and fire and shock. The coverage is limited to maintenance of internal electrical installations, which will cover HV panels, HV switches, transformers, LV panels, floor panels, earthing, internal electrical distribution systems, light fixtures, switches, lightning arresters, street lighting systems, and facade lighting and transformers. So, the manufacturers will be requested to at least minimum specify the routine maintenance and post fault maintenance. So, the following maintenance procedure shall be adopted: maintenance of transformers, maintenance of UPS, earth pits, earthing installations, emergency lighting provisions, maintenance of circuit breakers, maintenance of battery, DG set and its auxiliary operation, lockout and tag out process. Proper signages shall be displayed to discourage any unauthorized personnel in this area. Operations and maintenance of lifts and escalators. So, usually the lifts are designed for passengers, but in a hospital scenario it will again be differentiated for passengers, for visitors, for carrying patients, beds and trolleys. So, it will be according to that, and the maintenance and operations will follow differently for each and every lift system. The acceptance, the purchaser will accept lift installation only after the testing and commissioning, that and it has followed all the standards required for the installation. It will give guarantee and servicing, a comprehensive maintenance contract will be maintained, and the statutory examinations will be done. Lift in certain premises will be required by statutory regulations to be examined at intervals and specified by the state lift acts by competent person who will make a report in a prescribed form. Operations and maintenance of lifts and escalators will again have an annual maintenance contract. A document will be there which is made in interest of lift purchaser and manufacturer within agreed terms by both parties. There are two types of service contracts, that are comprehensive contracts and non-comprehensive contracts. Usually a service is made for 12 months of a time. Again, the equipment's operations shall be kept functional. It will have monitored in a following manner. It will have emergency alarm operation, emergency lights, automatic rescue device operation, intercom press to talk operation, door open and door close operation, lift full load operation, and it will be checked on a daily, monthly or yearly basis as prescribed. As in addition, there will be a fireman's lift, other lift equipment and also procedures for maintenance of lift that will be given in the further part of National Building Code. Firefighting system in a building is very important, and especially in a hospital building we have to take care that it has been done in a proper manner. So, what will happen here, there shall be a deployment of trained number of people to man the system. All fire exits and staircases will be kept free from any obstruction. Smoke extraction fans, fire dampers in HVAC system, they will be checked periodically and then run and tested. So, mock firefighting drills, basically what happens is a fire alarm system is played within the building just for the occupants within the building to ensure that they respond to such fire alarm system and evacuate the building as soon as possible. This has to take place from point to point time. Regular maintenance of fire extinguishers has to take place. A logbook has to be maintained including cost of all the alarms, proper function of fire pumps and the regular maintenance. There should be a periodic check of all fire installations such as external fire hydrant, hose reels and external fire hydrants. The most important thing here we have to take care is that all fire tank reservoirs should be full and free from any foreign materials. The water level will be recorded weekly. So, here we can see in this images there is a backhand of a fire fighting system behind any service area. Next, roads and pathways maintenance. Even the landscape, in that a hardscape also needs maintenance on time to time basis. It has to be ensured that roads are first of all well planned, footpaths are provided and are at a standard height, that is usually 150 mm above the road surface. They do not cause any obstructions to vehicles and are easily maneuverable. So, all services required at construction should be taken care in the planning stage itself. You have to take care beforehand. Special attention should be paid to drainage areas, proper surveys and outlets of rainwater shall be ensured, ease of movement, road layouts, indication, location of culverts, cross drainage and other underground services shall be prepared. The condition of road assets including the paths within the community or pedestrian area will be regularly inspected with focus on areas with high pedestrian usage. Permanent maintenance management system is used for managing or directing the control maintenance resources in a scientific manner for optimum benefits for major road system. Health and safety requirements, again personal protective equipment, that is PPE is a basic requirement that will be supplied to the employees at the time of construction. This is a stage which will be at the time of construction. There are certain maintenance tools which have recommended, such as we can see here class 2 electrical gloves, welding gloves, dielectrical boots, safety vests and full brim hard hat. These are certain things which are also during the construction, and when you are going to maintain any facility you need to wear this during health and safety. Next is maintenance of landscaping and horticulture works. The objective here is to provide defined services as per landscape maintenance specifications that is laid down for a property. This will cover hardscape as well as softscape weekly maintenance services. There are certain documents that needs to be maintained for an effective monitoring, which are landscape maintenance plan, weekly and monthly monitoring checklists, attendance register for the garden maintenance team, records to be maintained for gardening consumables purchased in a month, weekly checks on the gardening tools and an AMC for mechanized equipment. So, here we see a maintained horticulture building. Next is the housekeeping, methodology and processes that needs to be adopted within housekeeping. All local laws and regulations are abided by and required protocols for cleaning for all areas of the building and a cleaning schedule for the buildings are implemented. Periodicity of activities can be classified as daily, weekly, monthly or annually. Safe chemicals are only to be used. Specifically in case of hospitals, we need to ensure that there are safe chemicals used. Non-conformance to service level agreement may be classified as high, medium and low facility management. There are certain documents which are required to be maintained for its effective monitoring, such as supervisor checklist, deployment sheet, attendance register, weekend checklist, incident tracker, chemical consumption record and machinery running and maintenance report. Pest and rodent control. A clean environment and prevention is the starting point of pest control. It is a process which eliminates, minimizes a wide range of undesirable pests and insects. Preparation of integrated pest management plan can be useful, and following guidelines can be considered, like preventive measures should be explored, alternative methods of control to be evaluated, timely action for effectiveness and safety, adequate monitoring and documentation, and most effective method to be adopted that has cost benefit and least environment effect. So, the security services, the aim of any security services within a building is to take adequate measures and deny any opportunity of theft, of acquiring any information, committing sabotage or subversion activities by any antisocial element. The physical security addresses threats, vulnerabilities, countermeasure that can be utilized physically to protect any assets resources. So, there are 8 categories of physical security measures such as crime prevention through environmental design, physical barriers and site hardening, physical entry and access controls, security lighting, intrusion detection system, video surveillance, security personnel and security policies and procedures. So, it has a methodology and process. First of all, it will assess threat and risks, then a security strategy will be, then a site development plan for the methodology and process, strategy will be formed and common services standards will be followed as a process. So, the methodology will be threat and risk assessment, which will be for facility, which will involve preparation, threat assessment, risk assessment and recommendations. Then site development and security strategies. It will be segregation of public and private areas. You need to form a different public areas in hospitals and private areas again differently. Segregation of high and low security level areas, access control and alarm regeneration, surveillance, physical security, screening of personnel and vehicles, layered security through multiple tiers, crime prevention through environmental design, response to potential threats and incidents. So, common service standards are patrols, controlled access during out of hours, vehicle access control, CCTV monitoring, screening of personnel entering facilities and radio communications. Solid waste management. The requirement for waste management in buildings are applicable to large or small facilities that generate, store or handle any type of or quantity of waste. There should be guidelines for a waste management system, minimize waste generation, reuse and recycling of waste, waste segregation and waste disposal. So, solid waste management planning, it actually facilitates the that generates waste should be categorized. It basically contains waste prevention strategy, recycling and reuse and treatment disposal. Building management system. All the buildings have some form of mechanical or electrical services, and to provide facility necessary for maintenance of such services, there is a special building management system. These services have to be controlled by some means to ensure that the facilities which are available as designed in comfort conditions, irrespective of what number of people or individuals are having preferences. It is a standalone computer system that can calculate the preset requirements of building and control the connected plan to meet those. The purpose is to automate and take control of these operations in most efficient way possible, and the level of control via BMS is dependent upon information received from its sensors. So, here we see a image which shows that how BMS is taking control of intelligent street lighting, asset management, factory automation, home area network, building energy management, quick service, remote monitoring and transportation. So, BMS can control certain key operations such as HVAC systems, lifts, all equipments having varied frequency drives, lighting system, water supply systems, sewage treatment plants and effluent treatment plants, medical and other gas supply systems, ventilation systems and fire alarm, suppression and firefighting systems. Information management. Any organization needs to keep records safe and in a secure location so that it is arranged and enables rapid retrieval. Records and documents relating to maintenance of facility should be organized and kept up to date in a stored secure environment. It should following information should be recorded, such as classification of the facility and its subdivision, obligations under conditions of lease or occupancy, statutory and insurance inspections, records of property holdings with legal status, ownership of maintenance, obligations of parties, right of way, easement and way leaves, requirements and restrictions laid down by planning, building regulation control and fire authorities. So, the documentation that has to be maintained is facility handbook, drawings, specifications, schedules, asset register, warranties, repairs and spare parts, engineering installation records, mechanical records, electrical installation records and operating and maintenance manuals. Checklists. There are certain activities which requires inspection, maintenance that of assets, and the checklist is the method by which you can ensure that these checklists may be of various forms, from asset to asset and from organization to organization. There are certain examples of checklists such as registers of buildings, amount admissible per annum for carrying out maintenance, maintenance norms, frequency of application of finishing items, guidelines of annual maintenance estimate for horticulture works, classification of horticulture maintenance work, inspection list for civil, electrical, horticulture, additional inspection list for critical buildings may be required as per the needs. We have come to the end of this session on NBC part 12. I hope you understood it. If there are any questions, we shall discuss it in the question and answer round. Thank you.